You've talked in the past about the fact that you were being manipulated at one point.
Yeah.
What do you say to people who still believe you are being?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. What I can say is that I've been through so many experiences now, and I've travelled into paradigms that are beyond the realms of manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And so manipulation has a particular vibration to it, and they still attempt to manipulate me constantly. They do. They don't let up. I mean, I had an interview with Aaron McCullum, and he and I both suffered from a really, really severe disorientating headache. Well, we were attacked really hard within an hour after the interview, and I was knocked out for the rest of the day, and so was he. He had other interviews scheduled later that day and couldn't even make it, and so we needed to experience that for whatever reason. You know, there's many. And there's also, I get artificial thoughts still projected into my mind. The reality is we all do. We're all in the matrix. So you're having thoughts that aren't yours. Everybody's having thoughts that aren't theirs. There's nobody's immune to it. If someone says that their mind is completely theirs, then they haven't...
Canny that you bring that up.
It's impossible, okay? We're all in the matrix still, and we're still living this matrix, okay? So our minds are not ours yet. We're reclaiming, in the process of reclaiming them. But it's becoming aware of which thoughts that you have are yours and which thoughts aren't yours. And you then get to a place where you constantly dismissing the ones that aren't yours, and you're only placing your attention to the ones that are yours. And and then the shift starts to occur, and you get more and more of your mind back.
I'm sorry, I'm blown away that you've just talked about this, because I've just experienced this very thing.
Okay.
In between Christmas and New Year. For 5 of those 7 days, I was in a very strange place. And was off on mental tangents that didn't fit, is the only way I can explain it. They didn't resonate with my body, they didn't. And really went on a journey with them though. And only kind of came out of it about 3 days ago, if that. So I know exactly, when you're talking about this, I know exactly what you're saying. Thoughts about my friends and family, about my nearest and dearest, that, not me.
No, you wouldn't be having them.
I wouldn't know.
Why would you think that about them?
Of course.
You don't want to be thinking that about them, but there you are. And people say, oh, it's your subconscious, it's this, that. Crap. It is not.
But when
if you know how the matrix operates,
you know how it feels in here.
You do. You do know how it feels.
Yeah.
It has a different flavour. It has a different feeling. I mean, people don't understand the construct of the matrix. They don't know how good it is. Oh, this is genius. We're talking about universal genius here. We're talking about beings who have been manipulating life for eons and eras and epochs of time that are unfathomable. Okay? We're not talking about a couple of hit town extraterrestrials who want to implement something just, you know, a wimpy piece of technology. We're talking about a piece of artificial intelligence which monitors every thought, every feeling, which monitors people's lineage of previous lives, all the interactions they had with all the other people in previous lives, and can flag the events you're having with people in this life where you're sorting out karma, has the ability to amplify emotional reactions way beyond what they need to be, to create the conflict between people, can understand the galactic lineage and the history and the karma you have on a cosmic level.
It's mind-boggling.
Right? Yeah, I know what's going on in the moon. I know the construct of the matrix. Okay? I know what's going on with it. And I'm not saying that from an egotistical sense. To know the extent of the matrix we are in, to know the extent of its construct and how it works, When you're having an interaction with somebody and the extent to which that interaction is being monitored and manipulated on so many levels. Wow, because they are not creators, they can only manipulate what already exists. So if you have a beef with somebody of a history of nature which is negative, which was, you may have been at war, you know, eons ago somewhere else in the cosmos, and that charge, the energy charge becomes straight to the surface. They know how to get into that, and they know the history of that charge, then they will manipulate it. And there's no one being that is capable of doing that. It is artificial intelligence that runs that. Because to monitor life on all that level, you know, the amount of interactions that are going on, you know, and let alone just your stuff, what about all the contractual energetic streams between races that are going on as well? So, you know, let's expand a bit more, shall we? And then take your link with the natural kingdom, and for them to manipulate the natural kingdom to start bothering you. All your likes and dislikes with the natural kingdom. If you go camping, how can we annoy the shit out of that person, pardon my language, how can we annoy the crap out of that person while they're camping? Let's make their life miserable. They have a phobia of bees. Let's try and manipulate some bees somewhere to get it to come and harass them. Whatever. This is how full on it is, and people don't realise it.
But there's 7 billion people on the planet to monitor. I mean,
yeah, that's why it's an artificial intelligence that does it. And it's a bioorganic computer, and they've got smaller versions of that on the planet. The government's been playing with this too. So they've got their own level of experiment happening with this type of artificial intelligence. And the biggest one on the planet is in Pine Gap. And then they've got smaller versions of it in other places on the planet. And the main computer that runs the whole show on Earth is based in the moon. And it's like a net that goes around the moon and the Earth, like a net. But those beings now, this is all coming to an end, and they know it. And you know, those of us who are working behind the scenes with these beings, they're maintaining the integrity of the matrix, so people's soul journeys are being honoured, and then it's all just, and it's, if you have the sight, the foresight to see, you'll start to see holes appearing in the matrix. So it's deconstructing. They're already knowing it's deconstructing. And they're actually not working against that to stop the deconstruction any longer.
It makes, I don't know if I'm being too harsh, but it makes our entire lives feel like a bit of a farce. If it's...
No, totally opposite.
If it can be that manipulated down to that finer detail.
Yeah, and the food that you eat, the water that you drink, the extent of manipulation in this reality, we're talking the best the universe has to offer. Right? If you want to come, okay, if you want to become, let me put it this way, if you want to become a universal creator, right, and this is graduation time, all possibilities and outcomes have been extended, right, have been experienced, then this is graduation time. You're going to get the best that the universe has to offer thrown at you. And if you get through this, if you can maintain your integrity and get through this process, you've earned your stripes, you deserve to be a creator of light. If you get taken by any false agenda, you're not ready to become a creator of light. Because if you start creating your own universe, the very nature of light being a dualistic expression, a waveform expression, you're in trouble. You can't create a universe that's just going to spiral out of control. It's going to affect all life around you on a universal scale. That's not on.
But that makes you have to ask the question: how much of my story is my story? How much of it is my soul contract, my journey, my natural process, and how much of it is being manipulated? From
a much higher perspective, all of it, because we contracted these beings to come in and do this to us.
Okay then. All right. That I can deal with.
They're serving us. They're providing the challenge, the resistance.
Yep.
Yeah, for us to work through. The negative charge is the resistance. The dark is the resistance. For us to work through, to move through all those challenges that have been put before us. And you're getting challenged in here. I've been getting challenged in here all my life. All the implants and the drugs and the and the programs that they've put into me. Here I am, my inner light and consciousness has defeated them one after the other after the other. And I sit here before you stronger than ever. Am I still being manipulated? There's always trying to attempt it. I don't feel that I am. I honestly don't feel that I am. And all I say to people is, see what resonates, see what in the message that I share, the content. Don't judge a person by their cover. You know, look at the content. Don't just look at it, feel the content of what's being said. Does it resonate within you? Use that as the gauge, as you know, the BS meter. Because we've all had incredible journeys. And I get up and I say the things that I do because I've been through it. I've been through the manipulations, and they're still trying, but it's the content of what's being shared.